We are all the way live. It is Nightcap Knowledge right here on Black Window Chaser Facebook Live. George, Chuck, and Mr. Mac are in the building. We got a very special guest tonight. Actually, two. We got the legendary all-star celebrity barber Crack Cuts in the building. And we also have Mr. Tim Lee of Tim Lee Tax Services, TCL Tax Services. We're talking professional development for small businesses. Get ready for an awesome conversation. It's Nightcap Knowledge.
George Chuck. I can see
What's
you,
happening,
George
player?
I see you getting cut up, man. I see you getting cut up over there. You supporting black business right there in front of you.
Yeah, man. Look, it's that concierge service from Crack Cuts. You see all the C's I put together right there?
Yeah, you did.
It's
you
called
did a good
alliteration.
I hear you,
concierge
brother.
Crack Cuts. Yeah. Look, I'm gonna go and fade this music down. I'm gonna let y'all see this magic that's happening right here.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Hey, what's your barber name? Tell everybody what's his name and how they can get in contact with him if they need a good cut.
Yeah. So look, if you go to Crack Cuts on Instagram, that's CRAKKCUTZ. Crack Cuts on Instagram. This is Petey Raheem, the all-star celebrity, legendary barber to everybody that's coming up, everybody that has it, that's got it, that wants it. You need to get your hair cut by Crack Cuts. They are addicting. So if you follow him on Instagram, matter of fact, tonight we'll make sure that we do a post from the Nightcap Knowledge page as well as our personal pages, George Chuck page, and we'll get you connected with Crack Cuts. Now, if you want them to come to you, you got to pay the ticket. So
you got to pay like you wait.
You definitely got to pay like you wait. These ain't no Hey, you don't ask Burger King how much they waffle cost.
He's not a free barber.
He is exactly, Jiggy. He is not a free barber.
Who said that?
You want to cut? That's Jiggy. Jiggy, put your face. That's Jada, my niece Jada. Put your face in the camera. Move that way. Don't bump. There you go. Move that way. There you go. Put your face right there.
Not cheering.
That's right. Yeah, that's a cheering. They still look. They still
love night. You breaking the rules, cheering. You're breaking the rules.
Yep, Jack, they got his hair cut. McRae, you come on in. Well, they can't see you.
Yeah,
you get the stool, you can be seen. But yeah, man, look. So what's on the schedule tonight? I know we got old Tim Lee coming in, and we definitely want to get everybody excited about Tim Lee.
Really?
But tell us how the event went with the support our frontliners. How did that go, Matt?
Well, that event went great, and we'll remind everybody this is Black and Uncensored Nightcap Knowledge. So tune in, get your drinks. This is a special, rare occasion. Chuck is a little tied up trying to multitask, so we're gonna try to get it done. So don't be shamed. They can't see you. You can see us, but they can't see you. So enjoy your nightcap, enjoy your beverage. As long as your children are asleep or not up, then you okay, right? And Chuck has us in his ear, so they cannot hear what we're saying.
They cannot hear what we're saying.
No. I see a head in the way in his. Yeah, that's just Chuck's child. Yep, that's him.
That's one of my kids right there. That's one of them.
And McRae. McRae is no stranger to the camera. He is a young model actor. So this brother is definitely no stranger to the camera. We probably see a lot more of him very, very soon. So we talk about the recap from Support the Frontline. We had great support, great turnout. Big thanks to Discount Auto Body and Pawn, the old KJ's parking lot. We have Mailman did a great job. Eddie Wright Barbecue did a great job. Big shout out to Jackson Fire Department, Hines County Sheriff Department, JPS teachers, some healthcare and frontline workers that came by, got them a plate, enjoyed the music, and we're definitely very appreciative for the stuff that they got a chance to see, just the whole thought of someone doing something to recognize them and their efforts and their sacrifices that they've been making, because they continue to work, not having the option to do Zoom, not having the option to say, hey, I can't go in today, I don't want to go in. A lot of them have tested positive for COVID because they have to get out and do what they can and trying to stay safe as possible. So big shout out to all of those postal service workers. Definitely big shout out to them. We're going to do something special for them in 2021 because they have not stopped going. Some of the places that we've been ordering stuff from all year have now started to use the postal workers instead of using UPS and FedEx. I don't know if because they are overwhelmed there or because they're trying to be cheaper, but they are definitely overworking our postal service workers. And I'm going to be asking at the top of the year for collaborative efforts from community members to let's do something special to recognize our postal service workers because they've definitely been dealing with a lot. So, but it was a great event. We are closing out a great year, and we are closing it out the year focusing on financial literacy, economic empowerment, financial health, whatever you want to talk about, Black money, Black dollars, Black businesses. So we want to talk about that as we go to one of the biggest money-making holidays of the year coming up at the end of this week. We are encouraging folks to budget, invest, understand, create your business, and the things you should do when you create your business. So we're going to be talking about that for the next couple of shows. And next week, we're going to be recapping from the year with some guests that we have had on the show before.
Yeah. Look, man, I can definitely get in with you on that conversation about, one of those biggest spending events, but budget. But if you have a budget for your post December 25th shopping, spend it with people that are close to you, and don't necessarily always go for the big box stores and the huge online retailers. Spend it with some people that are that have the track record of making good products or provide particular services. Or if you need to, for instance, something that we've done, we wanted to revamp our business plans, right? So we don't have time to sit down and devote the brain power or the energy that we need to or that it deserves. So we said we're going to contract with a person to do that for us. So make sure that if you're talking about going into 2021 and being more productive than you have been in the past, put your money where your mouth is. And if you can't do it for yourself, hire a consultant to do that for you. So some of that will be part of our conversation tonight. And we definitely want to appreciate the people that have been out there. I gave my UPS driver that serves my particular area, gave him some T-shirts and things. My postal service delivery person gave them some things, and told them I appreciate it because I have a lot of boxes that come to my house. And a lot of times, they make sure that they get to the garage if I'm out there working. And you got to appreciate these guys and these ladies and the people that are out there doing these jobs every day.
Right. So we definitely want to show our thanks and support for that. And our brother Stephen James and his wife were definitely trending. They left a real nice bag for their UPS worker, and just come to find out it is the sister from Bring It, Mimi, one of the moms of the young ladies that was on the dance team, and they see her jumping and dancing as she was so happy to get her gift. And then recently posted of a UPS man that was in tears for someone recognized. So they've been working diligently, and we definitely want to make sure we support all those folks that are out there getting it in. All right, so we're gonna get ready to get to the top of the show. Is Mr. Brother Tim back there yet?
Yeah, Tim back there, man. You ready to bring Tim in? That's how you gonna bring him in. You got to give him an all-star introduction, man.
I want to make sure. I want to make sure he was there so we can get ready to jump to it.
Okay.
All right. Okay. All right. So look, we are talking about tonight. We're talking about Black Business Matter. We are talking about what you need to do as a Black business owner. We know people start businesses and they talk about how inexpensive it is and what you can do to start a business, but what you need to do to sustain your business, also what you need to do to start your business off correctly. So this brother here is no stranger to being able to talk to folks He's done multiple trainings, workshops. He has a radio show every Monday on WMPR here in the Jackson area, and it reaches 3 other states. So this brother has taken his tax business and evolved it into a financial service business. They are open all year round. He has a great package and great plan, and we're going to dive into that tonight. We have none other than our brother, Mr. Tim Lee from TCL Financial and Tax Services. He is in his state of the art office, Chuck. And whenever you get a chance to get to Jackson, you're going to have to come and do a grand tour of this office. When I tell you, this brother has invested in himself, and you're your own marketing plan right there. When people see you and they come and see your business or your office, where that let them know that they dealing with somebody serious. And I see the brother got, he got his, like he got a beverage in the background there, Chuck. When you get finished getting cut up, man, you got to come on, catch up with us and get that beverage. Whoa, you got to come on, get in.
Look, I plan to do that, man. I plan to do that. Look, y'all let me know.
All right. So, brother Tim, as Chuck fade out and get finished getting taped up, we want to dive into this show. Now, tell us a little bit about yourself, your business, and how you got started.
Okay, great. I want to first thank you, Mac, and you, Chuck, for having me a guest on the show. For those that do not know, my name is Tim C. Lee. I'm the CEO and founder of TCL Financial and Tax Services. And we've been in business actually next month. It'll be 17 years. 17 years.
Wow.
We were founded January 5th, 2004.
Wow. Wow.
So we got 4 locations. We got our main office here on Highway 18 in Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
We got another location on Mega Evans Boulevard in Jackson. We got one location, another location in Byram. We got another location in Canton.
Okay. Brother Tim, if you give me a little volume on your mic.
Need some more volume? Okay.
Yeah. Want to make sure that people can hear you very clearly. See, Brother Tim has that real radio voice. He has that voice that he'll probably come on with somewhere between 11 p.m. and go off at 5 a.m. in the old school radio. He had to keep it going throughout the night shift. So yes, sir. So I know you've done great things with that. We know this is Nightcap Knowledge. Our show is black and uncensored. Real talk, real problems, real solutions. We get straight to it. Don't worry about sugarcoating it. Now, one of the things is we know, exception to the rule, we usually have our beverages ready. So, do you have your beverage, brother?
Oh, brother, I got it right here.
Okay, you got a little wine tonight. I think I'm gonna dive into this Macallan 12, little Scotch. I've been waiting to get into this. So I'm
You got a little bit more hair in your chest than I do.
Well, I might have had it. The Macallan ain't that bad, It ain't gonna take it off. But there is some stuff around here up under one of these in one of these cabinets. It probably take the rest of the hair completely off. So got this great glass, man. Whenever the world open back up, it holds a cigar. So you got the cigar together and the glass. So we are going to relax and enjoy ourselves as we talk some real stuff about what we need to do about our business and how we start our business. So, so what all do you offer there? I know you always now tell everybody your motto and why you have that motto.
You talking about our slogan?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we actually have 2 slogans. Actually, we got one when it comes to tax preparation because we absolutely believe that we are the best in the industry.
Right.
And our slogan is we don't just do taxes, we know taxes.
Right.
You finna find out that everybody and their mama is doing taxes.
Correct.
You got pawn shops, you got loan places, in the kitchen, in the bathroom, everybody wants to do taxes.
Right.
So we don't just do taxes, we know taxes. So
okay,
we're the leader when it comes to that. Then we got another slogan when it pertains to our overall services that we offer.
Okay, Tim. Some folks still say they can hardly hear you.
They can't?
Yeah, I'm looking at the comments. They say they can hardly hear you. You got a mic, or are you using your regular thing?
I am using I got my volume all the way up on my computer.
Do you have any headset, like earbuds, anything like that?
I can grab some. Would that be better?
The earbuds probably put the mic a little closer to your mouth. They might be able to help you hear you a little bit better.
Okay, let me grab that. Hold on.
Okay. All right, don't go anywhere. Make sure you tag a couple more friends. Let people know that we have brother Tim Lee on the show tonight. He's going to get his earbuds to make sure that you guys don't miss a second of what we're having to lay out. And we're going to talk about multiple things on the show tonight. We're going to talk about business entities, some must-haves, what you need. We'll talk about license permits. We're going to talk about business accounts, branding, name, logo, website. We're going to cover a lot of things you need to know. But one of the main things he's going to talk about is the taxes. What you need to do for us filing, what do you need to do for us making sure that, well, he's going to tell you a little bit about how as a CEO or owner of a business, you pay less taxes than the people that you employ. So we want to make sure that you go ahead and tune in, share that with a friend or two, and let them know what we have going on here. We're going to dive right into it. You plug in. If anybody have any trouble hearing me, let me know. If I'm good to go, give me a thumbs up in the comments. If you can hear me, give me a thumbs up in the comments. If you can hear me loud and clear, I can turn my mic up just a little bit more. I want to make sure that you guys can hear me. All right.
All right. What about this, Mac?
Well, I can still hear you about the same. If you got your volume all the way up.
Let me get somebody else to comment in it. If not, then I'll
switch
to another computer.
All right. Can everybody hear Tim now? If you can, shoot us a comment. Let us know if you can hear him. If you're not, if you still have trouble hearing him, let me know. Okay. Can hear you. I can hear me fine. Got some thumbs up. All right. We got it. All right. I think we're good to go, Tim. Just speak loud and clear.
All right. See, Flora gave a thumbs up. I don't know. That's to you, Mac, or to me.
And I think can you hear Tim? You still having trouble hearing Tim?
All right. I'm going to switch to another computer, Mac, and log back in, okay?
Okay, I got thumb up. Barely. They still saying that they can barely hear you, Tim.
Okay. Let me switch to another computer and I'll log back in.
All right, everybody, don't go anywhere. Tim is just going to try to get into a better spot where you can hear him a lot better. He's going to switch to another computer, and George Chuck is finishing up.
Y'all see this fade? Look at this fade. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all see this fade? I'm gonna get real close to the camera once I get this crack.
Hey, once you get that what, Chuck?
The crack cuts, man. Look, crack cuts are addicting. You hear me?
I hear you. I see you, man. I see you over there. I see you.
Yeah.
So we waiting on Tim. He's gonna log. He's gonna log out.
When he got a stoplight on his head.
Huh?
You know a man serious about his work when he got that stoplight on his head. If you working on a car, if you working on a patient, if you working on a haircut, hey, the level of intensity has just went up 14,000 notches when you got the stoplight on your head.
I bet see some things.
Now they can say they can hear you really good, Chuck. So I guess that's just Tim's mic.
Yeah, Tim we got to get Tim a new laptop, man. We got to get him a podcast set up. Yeah. I'll shoot him a link to my Amazon list so we can get him hooked up with all of the particulars. So when he's doing his at-home broadcast, that we're going to speak into the future, and he'll be all set. So we won't have any difficulties hearing Tim in 2021 because we're gonna get him set up with that real soon.
Yeah. We're going to keep it going. Everybody, appreciate y'all hanging out for 1 second. Tim is going to get to another computer and he's going to log back in, and we're going to keep everything going. We have a lot of great information we need to share with you guys. And as you heard me say, not want to share, need to share. As you can see, Chuck have a big occasion tomorrow. And he's trying to multitask, supporting the Black business as we broadcast to talk about the benefits or having a structured, sound foundation for your Black business. So we, We trying to do what we
And
can
your
to
overall
keep things
personal
going.
brand.
And you doing what, Chuck?
Yeah, your overall personal brand, man. You gotta look the part. Your brand. If you can see, what Petey Raheem has on right now. It's one of the folks that we've worked with over past few years. And if you got a business and that business does not have merchandise, things that you can pass on to your friends, family members, or things
Mm-hmm.
that your friends and family members can purchase,
Mm-hmm.
then you're not serious about their business. If you're not walking around when you go to do business representing your business brand, then you're not
Right.
serious about your business. So
Yeah.
it's things like that are definitely pieces of professional development. So that if you plan to do something and present yourself as a business owner, as a professional, then
Mm-hmm.
you need to have all the tools that you need and require at your in your tool bag, in a sense.
And one other thing that Chuck is saying to let folks know, we have Yard Boy Entertainment and Events, entertainment coordinating, marketing, promoting team. Also, we have Chuck has I Got It Made, which does the graphic design work, IT design. I mean, for his graphic design, for shirts, flyers, anything like that. We have Eagle Eye Imaging, IT, Extraordinary Business Solution with Sabir. So we have the tools when you start talking about branding, creating the image, being able to have a strong, active website, being able to have logos, and different things you need for marketing. And like Chuck says, for me, everything I wear that has writing on it has a meaning. So if it's not fraternity, if it's not Tougaloo, you see me depending on what I'm doing, it might be Jack Daniels, but we've been bartending and doing events with Jack Daniels probably since 2006, somewhere in there. And everything else you're going to see is going to say Yard Boy, it's going to say Mississippi Move. You have to be your biggest marketing tool. Every time you go somewhere, when people see you, they need to see your business, whether it's a logo that you have on your attire, or if you have magnets on your car. People need to see you, and you need to be promoting and marketing your business, because you are the greatest promoter you're gonna ever get, and your work is gonna speak for itself. So, brother Tim is back. Tim just talking to him a little bit about branding and promoting. We were talking about the brother's image on his shirt, the one that's the concierge Baba. So we were talking about that. But now you're back. We can get started. I was just giving folks a kind of rundown of what we're going to talk about tonight. And not to waste your time, brother. Whenever you want to jump into it, you can go ahead and start educating the brothers and sisters that are listening about business and what they need to do.
All right, let me
It's
get a
on you.
thumbs up if you can hear me.
If y'all can hear Tim again, get thumbs up for Tim. Go ahead and say something, Tim.
Can you hear me good? Can you hear me good, Mac?
Yeah, I can hear you better. Yeah, I can hear you better than you were.
Great. Any comments yet? If they can hear me good?
What's that? Brother Ron, Flora, if you can hear Tim, just let us know loud and clear. Marion said loud and clear.
Okay, sounds good. Well, let me go back. I think you asked me to tell a bit about myself. I don't know if they heard that or not, so I kind of redo that again. We've been in business since 2004. We got 4 locations. Highway 18 is our main office. We got Mega Evans Boulevard in Jackson as well. We got a Byram location, and we also have a Canton location. As far as the services we offer, you asked about my slogan. When it comes to tax preparation, our slogan is we don't just do taxes, we know taxes. We also have another slogan, and this slogan deals with our overall services. And pretty much tax preparation can fall under financial services. So we tell people in this mission statement, before you call anybody about your business, finances, money, or taxes, call us. So again, we're a one-stop shop when it comes to financial services.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good information. I know that you guys do a great job, and I found out from talking to you about the professional development. I think we was having a conversation one day. Might have been at 9.1. We were talking about this and said, hey man, let's put something together and let's do it. And we actually did a in-person financial, professional development
Business
workshop
Mm-hmm.
at the venue, and it turned out great. And the numbers were, we just planned for 20, and we had 19 by the time we started advertising, and then we expanded to 25. And after we got there, we actually had 24 show up. I think someone had an issue, and then we had somebody to replace that person. So we end up with the number at 25, and people walked away from there feeling like they had actually gained knowledge and they actually got some information out of it. So don't want to hold you up. Tell everybody what we got, and there's two questions that I had out there for those people that have businesses already. And I can tell you off the top of my head actually what they are. One of them, the question is, if you were able to receive economic disaster loan and for your business, what do you need to do when it comes to tax filing for this year? And then the second question is, what might have been wrong with your business, the reason that you did not qualify to receive any of those benefits? So those are two questions out there. You can answer them now, or you can wait to the end after you do the whole presentation, and we can go from there.
Okay. Well, let me first answer your second question.
Okay.
I think the question was, what do you do, or what the reason why you did not receive any disaster loan benefits?
Right.
From talking to a lot of people that came to me, or even called my radio show, or even called me, in the office or my cell, they seen the advertisement, they heard the street committee talking about, hey, we want some of this money that's available. I got a business, the PPP, which is the protection program. Then they had the EIDL, it was the economic impact disaster loan.
Right.
Then they had unemployment benefits, because even unemployment benefits, which is normally not for self-employed individuals, were extended to self-employed individuals and business owners. So the problem that I found was that even though individuals had a business, legally, they did not. So yes, they conducted work. Yes, they charged, but on paper, they had no paper trail. They didn't file taxes on their business. If they were supposed to collect sales tax, they did not do so. They didn't have an EIN number, didn't have a business checking account. So when you went to apply for, and I can definitely understand it, because again, fraud takes place. Let's just be honest. So if you, when you went to apply for these certain things, and you cannot produce not one piece of document, especially just the simple document, just the EIN number or a business checking account. These individuals couldn't get past the front door when applying for these particular loans or grants, unemployment services. So that's what held a lot of people up. They just didn't have the credentials. And I tell a lot of people, you can't hide your head under the table to avoid taxes, or I don't know, I heard some people say, hey, I don't want to pay no more child support. So, hey, I this is money I make that I don't even tell nobody. But whatever the case might be, you can't hide your head under the table. And then when this money is available, you want to stick your head from under the table. So that's one of the biggest hangups that I saw, that people actually did not legalize their business. Now, for the individuals, and I know that you had rumors out there that the money was hard to get.
Right.
Mac, I'm telling you, this money, 100% of the people that I helped with getting grants, loans, unemployment benefits that had legalized businesses were able to get them. And again, I said 100% of people that I've helped. So the people that did get these benefits, let's first talk about the unemployment benefits. Those benefits are going to be taxable. So you will receive a Form 1099-G, which is what unemployment benefits is reported on, and you're going to report that on your tax return, and that goes on your personal tax return. Now, that's unemployment benefits. Then you have the Paycheck Protection Program. Now, initially, that loan was to be repaid back. And if you use a certain portion of it towards payroll, then that portion was forgiven. But right now, currently, and I've heard that it's going to eventually, the forgiven portion going to be greater. But right now, they have a simple application for those that receive less than $50. And for the average small business, they receive less than $50. They have a simple application, a forgiven application that you have to fill out. If you haven't filled it out, you still have time. And there's no documents required. So you don't even have to prove what you used the money for. Now, keep in mind, they could come back on you down the road and audit you. But for right now, it's a very, very simple process to forgive that loan if you receive $50,000 or less. Now, when it comes to and that's the Paycheck Protection Program, the PPP.
Right.
Now, when it comes to the EIDL, the EIDL actually had two parts.
Yeah.
One portion was the grant portion.
Correct.
And the grant portion was you were given $1,000 for every employee that you had, including yourself. So if you just had yourself, you got $1,000. And it was up to 10 employees. So the max you could get was $10,000. Now that was totally forgiven. And that application literally, Mac, I would say it took maybe 10 minutes to complete. And again, 100% of people that applied that I assisted got it. Now that money is going to be forgiven, no strings attached. But when you apply for that grant, based on the gross income that your business had in 2019 and your credit, they offered you a loan. And you could either accept the full amount of the loan that they gave you, or you could have got a lesser amount. The rate of the term was, I want to say, it was 3.25. 3.25.
Yeah, very low.
Don't quote me on that. But it was in the threes. And the loan repayments were spread over 30 years. And in the first year of you receiving the loan, there's no interest or no payment. Now, I anticipate, and again, don't quote me on this either, I anticipate that, and I even told people, hey, even if you don't want the money, you don't need the money, I would still accept it. And if you don't need it, just park it somewhere. You got a year worth of free interest, a year with no payments. Because again, what if they come back down the road and say, hey, this money is going to be forgiven? Then you will regret not accepting it. So, and then a year come and they say, hey, you got to start making payment, just pay the full lump sum because there's no prepayment penalty. So that, as of right now, if you took that loan portion, then a year later, you're going to have to start paying that one back. But as of right now, that's where that one stands. So outside of that one and the unemployment, and really right now, the only thing that you are having any consequences for right now would be the unemployment.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, I'm glad you got those questions taken care of. I know there have been multiple talk way before when we first started. Someone just put a comment in the group. Multiple people started, they were having issues with applying, not having any things together. Someone, hold on. If you see the comment, Brother Tim.
No, I can't see the comment. You see it?
Yeah, I see a whole lot. And I'm reading it now, and I don't know if this is a real person or this something that's been flagged. Uh, but yeah. Um, so so brother, I definitely thank you for giving us an update on that information and letting folks know. Now, to get into what we was talking about tonight about the business startup, the whole thing. You have your list with you, the things we're supposed to cover. What do you need to do first? You know, in you know your whole presentation, anything you got to show us. We're ready for that portion to let us know about business startup because during the pandemic things that folks been talking about for a while, people start to either start a business or start to upgrade their business or start to change what they were doing. And folks start to find out what they need to do to continue to keep multiple strands of income. I've heard you say this many times that you must have multiple strands of income. People start to invest. People start to take a hobby and turn it into an LLC. So tell us more about those folks that took a hobby and turned it into an LLC or even someone that started a business that might not have done everything correctly. I know several folks that are starting businesses right now and just getting going. Give us the whole 101 all the way up to 202 and what we need to be doing.
Okay. Hey, man, I'm finna pull up. And actually, I just emailed you the PowerPoint because I'm on an iPad now. Are you able to pull that up?
No, hold on one second.
If
Let me see.
not, then I can just talk from it.
Yeah, you can start talking from it, and I'm gonna try to get this over
Okay,
to
great,
Chuck.
great.
So Chuck, you still got your ears on. I'm sending you over the PowerPoint to you, George Chuck. If you can
Okay,
assist with that.
okay. Well, again, what we're talking about today is pretty much business, startup, and development.
Mm-hmm.
And again, when you look at the numbers, um, over 50% of business, 50% of businesses fail in the first year. 95% of businesses fail in the first 5 years. And
Mm-hmm.
that's why every single year I get excited. My anniversary, our anniversary here at TCL, January 5th. I mean, we get totally excited because we understand that we have beaten the odds, beaten the
Mm-hmm.
odds. And I've had other people in this industry ask me, how are you able to get 4 locations? And keep in mind, I did 3 locations in the first 3 years of being in business, back to back in the first 3 years. So again, you know, when you look at those numbers, it's scary. It's scary. But what a lot of people make the mistake. A lot of people make the mistake and they think that, hey, you know, if they are good at selling a product or offering a product, if they are good at doing a particular service, then
Mm-hmm.
they say, hey, I can go out and open me up a business. You
Mm-hmm.
know, give you an example. If I'm a plumber and
Mm-hmm.
I'm working for this well-known plumbing company and he sent me to a job and I present the invoice to the client for $1,000 and I only made on that particular job $100, you know, a part of me feels like, hey, I could be on the other side making the 1,200, you know. But
Mm-hmm.
what happens is, even though I'm good at being a plumber, doesn't mean I'm going to be good at being a business owner. And that is 2 totally separate things.
I've
And a
seen
lot of
it
people
a
don't
thousand
understand.
times.
Exactly. A lot of people don't understand that. Even when I first went in business, I had a business coach. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
if you know this, Mac, or not, but Jackson State has a small business development center.
Mm-hmm.
And I went there and got assisted with doing a business plan, doing my predictions. They helped me get access to a small business loan that I qualified for through the SBA. But I was coachable. I was coachable. So another service that I've added to my company is business startup and development, where we have business coaches on our team to
Mm-hmm.
assist you from beginning to the end. Um, Now, when you look at from being a business coach, I must say that uh, I've talked to a lot of business owners. I talked about that earlier when people apply for uh, disaster relief.
Right.
You know, they pretty much had no business name. They had no logos, no business cards, no permits, no licenses, no business structure set up, no business insurance, no checking accounts for their business. They didn't have an EIN number that the federal requires, and they also didn't have proper state identification numbers. They didn't have none of that in place. So one of the first things that I do when I sit down with a client, is go over our 10 steps to creating and starting a business. Okay.
Okay.
And I want to pull this up in a PowerPoint. Has George got that up yet?
Let me check with him to see.
If not, then I can just call them out. And maybe we can just share them later on your page.
Yeah, we can do that. We could share him later. He hadn't responded back yet.
Okay, great. And for those, excuse me if I seem like I'm looking off camera, I'm looking at a laptop in my PowerPoint while I'm trying to focus on you on the iPad. So that's why I look like I'm looking off. But again, when I looked at starting a business and what every individual needs to do, I compiled them down to 10 steps. The first thing we got to decide is we got to decide on the product you would sell or the service that you will offer. You know, I talked to a young lady before and she said, I don't know what I would do if I went in business. And I said, everybody's good at something. Right. Everybody's good at something. And a lot of us are already doing something that's could relate to a business and we don't even know it. Right. You know, I got a nephew, you know, he washes cars, you know, whether it's a family reunion, whether it's at a get together, you know, instead of him being inside and talking to everybody, he's asking everybody, hey, can I wash your car and make some money? And he also does that around the neighborhood. So technically, he has a business. He just hasn't formalized it yet. So again, we got to first decide on the product you're going to sell or the service you're going to offer. Then we got to decide, this is step 2, we have to decide a business location, whether it's going to be a home-based business or it's going to be a brick and mortar. Now, a lot of people I sit down with, a lot of it is just pride because I tell them, hey, you really need to start off as a home-based business. It's less risk involved because when you go to a brick and mortar, we're talking about signing leases. We're talking about putting deposits on utilities. So there's more cost involved. So again, certain businesses can actually start off being a home-based business. And again, it's very, very low startup costs when you do that. The third step is to create a budget and plan for the startup cost. Now, I can remember when I first went in business, and even now, every location that I open up, I literally write down every single item that needs to be purchased with the actual cost or an estimated cost. And when I say everything, we talk about even down to the paper clips, just that detail. You have got, and we all done this, Mac. We've all have moved and went to Walmart and said, hey, I need to buy some cleaning supplies, I'll buy this and that. The next thing you know, you done spent a few $100s on some simple stuff. So you got to put everything on your list because everything that you leave off actually could be this large number that you didn't anticipate on spending. So again, we want to know exactly, get a good estimate of what it's going to take to start this particular business. Then the next step, number 4, come up with a business name, a mission statement, a slogan. And when we do that, we got to check for duplications. Because again, we don't want to infringe on nobody else's name or mission statement or slogan. Because again, we can fall into legal grounds then. And I remember that seminar that we did. And you remember that when I started off talking, I asked everyone, I said, hey, Everybody was in there was either business owners or potential business owners.
Right.
And I asked them, I said, hey, tell us your name and tell us your business. And everybody gave us their name and they gave us their business name. And every time I sit down and talk with a business name, a mission statement, a slogan, something has to stick your business out than the next person that's doing the same thing. And I think only one person at that event really made their business stick out. Because if someone asks me my name and my company's name, I'm going to give a little bit extra. I'm going to say, hey, maybe the service that we offer. I'm going to give you our slogan. I'm going to give you our mission statement. Because again, if somebody else is in that room that offers the same services, what's going to stick my business out versus theirs? And again, we got to be realistic. That's your whole purpose of going in business, is to make a profit. And your goal really is to outdo your competition. And the only way you're going to do that is to stand out more than them. So typically when I talk to clients about coming up with a business name, the mission statement, the slogan, we doing something that, hey, that people are going to remember. That's going to make your business a household name in a sense. So again, that part, number 4, coming up with a business name, the mission statement, and the slogan, that is actually something that's going to stick with your business from the beginning up until the end. So that's one of the most important steps, is coming up with that name, mission statement, and slogan. Was you going to say something, Mac?
Well, so you got 2 questions whenever you get to a point to answer. You can finish those 10 steps first, and then I got 2 questions for you.
Okay. Then the 5th thing is we got to decide on a business structure. Decide on a business structure. And when I say a business structure, we're talking about the legal entity of the business. Now, you got sole proprietorships. You have limited liability companies, LLCs also. Then you have partnerships. Then you have corporations, and they fall under either S Corp or a C corporation. And then you have nonprofits.
Right.
Now, out of those 5, 2 of them I totally disagree with. I wouldn't recommend no one get them. And that is sole proprietorships and partnerships. Now, and the reason being, and when it comes to the owner, your personal assets are not protected. Now, someone's saying, wait a minute, a partnership? Now, if you're going to do a partnership, what you need to do is become a limited liability company, LLC, and then you are just a multi-member LLC. So, and the IRS still recognizes that multi-member LLC as a partnership. So, again, the only ones I recommend is going to be an LLC, whether it's a single member LLC, if it's only one owner, or multi-member LLC, if it's going to be a partnership, or corporation. And again, majority of people, especially small businesses, will not fall in that corporation status. So a majority of small business is going to fall either under a LLC, single member, or a multi-member. And then lastly is the nonprofit, which we know that is not for profit. So that is the business structure. Then once you decide that, we got to register the business with the Secretary of State's office. That's a application for Mississippi is only $50. Now keep in mind, that's a one-time fee of $50. So I actually recommend people, if you don't know what you're doing, you hire a business coach, because I have assisted people after the fact, and we had to do amendments to their formation of their business under the Secretary of State's website, and it costs an additional $50 to make changes. Step 7, you want to apply for your employee identification number, the EIN, with the IRS. You want to apply for other laws that are required for your particular field that you're in. You want to apply for a business license, a privilege license with the city or town or county that you're in. You might also need permits depending on the service that you're doing or product that you're selling. And then you also have state tax identification numbers like sales tax, withholding tax, use tax. Those get missed out a lot. I see a lot of small businesses, especially right now, a lot of people are doing online boutiques, but they don't know that they are supposed to charge sales tax. So a lot of them get audited because they did not know. Because keep in mind, they do a lot of advertising. So they are pretty much put it in out there that they have a business that is required to charge sales tax. And you have someone at the Department of Revenue that is consistently, that's their job, is to find businesses that are not registered with them, that are not paying sales tax. Um, then you have withholding tax if you have employees, and then trademarks. That is very, very, very important. Especially, like I said in number 4, you want to separate your business from someone else. So that business name, that business slogan, that mission statement is going to stand out. You got to trademark. You got to trademark it. Then number 8, you have to open up a business checking account. Have to open a business checking account. And you want to keep that separate from your personal account. You never want to mix the accounts. All right. Number 9, apply for business insurance. Every single business, no matter how small you is, no matter how big you is, you got to have business insurance. And I'm talking about liability insurance. Now, depending on the field that you're in, it might require surety bonds for your business as well. And if you have employees, then you're required to have workers' compensation as well. Then we have number 10. Develop a marketing plan. Business cards, logo, websites. And a lot of this stuff you can do it yourself. But I'm being honest with you. You have a lot of people out there that are social media managers, that are, that's in the marketing field. And this is a very, very inexpensive thing to do as far as hire somebody to create a website, create your logo, design your business cards. So again, if you're not tech savvy like that, again, seek professional help when it comes to that. All right. But those are the 10 steps, Mac. You said we had some questions out there?
Yeah, let me go with first one. We have Ms. Flo Green. She asked a question about if you started a business that say in December, will the business qualify for future PPP or even the current PPP if you started in December?
When she say December, she talking about?
I guess you're talking about this December. Yeah.
This month. Okay. This month. Okay. Because the past stimulus package, you'd have had to be in business, I want to say before January of this year. Now, this particular stimulus package, they haven't finalized it yet. But I would imagine that businesses that got in this year that have suffered, will still take advantage of this upcoming stimulus package. But again, I don't know. They haven't finalized it yet. So again, we're just going to wait and see once they finalize it, what's the start date of that particular business to qualify.
And for that person to ask that question, I would still have all my stuff in order, all my paperwork and things that you might not have together that we just talked about. And actually, it would be a good idea maybe to give Brother Tim a call offline to make sure that you have it, because in just being honest, there's some things that I wish I've had more organized, because you wouldn't expect nothing like this to happen. And then when it happened, it was like, man, if I only knew about this, if I only had that, you could have received this, could have received that. So, definitely reach out and get that stuff together. Second question: a lot of minority business lack basic technology. Speak to the importance of how basic tech can enhance a business. Right now, we both can speak to that. Right now, basic tech, internet, simple thing for us, the internet, right now is the goal. Platinum, because that's the only way we're able to communicate with multiple people, and being able to not only do that, but for our brother right here, I see brother Eddie Wright. Every time we do an event, it's posted on Facebook, so more and more people are knowing about his business, and that's only done through internet and technology right now, because you're not able to do a lot of hand-to-hand stuff, even though you shouldn't be doing a lot of hand-to-hand stuff. But Brother Tim, what you think about that?
Well, and we can just even think about, the school system right now,
Right.
where you have teachers that said, hey, I ain't doing this technology. And we talking about pre-pandemic.
Right.
They were not tech savvy. And just talking to a lot of educators, a lot of teachers, especially that was reaching retirement, they pretty much, I don't want to say forced to, but they decided to retire.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, everything changed overnight in a sense, and it changed
Right.
fast.
It did.
So if you were not tech savvy
Mm-hmm.
and you was not a quick learner, then hey, your job might have been on the line, especially if you're a teacher, you're an educator. But again, this pandemic has definitely changed the way we do business, And for some people, they said they will probably never go back, because they realized that if this made them think outside the box, they didn't know that they can handle business and still be effective doing it virtual.
Right.
And a lot of people, even their customers, preferred it that way.
Right.
So
Yeah.
even after the pandemic, we're going to see a lot of industries that's going to prefer to stay virtual when it comes to majority of services. I don't know if you read it, Mac, the other day in the Clarion Ledger, that by 2000, I think it was 2025, that what was it? 80% of the jobs are going to be pretty much robotic.
Yeah.
Because again, this pandemic has allowed people, allowed industries, allowed companies, allowed businesses to think outside the box. And that's why this business startup is very, very important. And I appreciate you for putting it together, because I've told people, and me and you've been saying it for a long time, Mac, but definitely now, people have got to have more than one way to earn money. Because if you only had one way to earn money, let's say, for example, you was a waitress. If that was your only way to earn money, and the restaurants got closed and only went to takeout, then your job was, you got laid off, among other industries.
Point of clarification: when it said tech, they were referring to POS, point of sales. A lot can't accept credit card payments. So we have a brother Eddie Wright that's in the comments. It's simply about being able to get the technology that you need. A simple thing is sometimes downloading the app. It's being able to have a Square app or PayPal app on your phone, and you can create an invoice, and you can either use the card reader or you can type it in, and you are able to.
That's an issue actually. And again, that goes back to that business coach,
Right.
having someone that's more knowledgeable in the field, because actually to get a credit card machine set up for your business, whether you are a home-based business, whether you have a brick and mortar, actually you can have that set up within 24 hours.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a very, very easy process.
Yeah, and then like I say, and if you don't do that way, you can until you can get to that point, you can always download those different apps and have it going to the appropriate account until you can get to where you
Exactly.
can get the credit card machine. Now, another point what someone made is they said do not sleep on the Southern was the S Corp LLC. In reference when you were talking about the best type of business to have. They talking about the S Corp LLC. What do you say about the S Corp LLC?
Well, it's not. How to explain it? It's not necessarily an S Corp LLC. An LLC is one entity, and then you have an S Corp. So corporation is different than an LLC. An LLC can be recognized. They could choose to be recognized as a corporation, but those are two totally separate things. And again, the average small business is going to be an LLC. The only reason I guess go forward to an S corp or either LLC to an S corp or start off as an S corp. If you want to offer a retirement plan to your employees, and I'm talking about a 401k,
Right.
then you have to be an S corp. You have to be a corporate. If you have shareholders, if you go public, then you have to be a corporation. If you once you get to a certain amount of profit, gross net income in your business, then it's more advantageous to go to an S corp. But again, to start off that way, a lot of small businesses just don't need to do that unless they fall in those categories from the beginning.
Okay. All right. If anybody have any more questions, you can drop them in the comment as we keep going with the presentation and going more in depth. Now, one of the things that people really need to hear, as you broke down and had everybody standing around looking like, what? You was explaining as a business owner how the taxes work more in your favor versus as an employee. So give us that whole spiel about, as a business owner and how the tax breaks and what you should be doing. When you start talking about your vehicle, like that's not your vehicle. That's not your personal vehicle. That's the company's vehicle. Yeah.
Yeah. If George can put up slide number 10.
Chuck, slide number 10.
He's still
got ears on. He's working behind the scenes right now. He just there you go.
Number 10 though, Chuck.
What number is that? What you looking for? You might need to tell them what you look for. It might not.
Tell them the title of it is Income Taxes, Who Pays More?
Okay, income taxes, who pays more, Chuck? If you can hear it, it might be the slide behind it or in front of it. There you go. Fresh to death from right to left.
All right. Yeah, just go ahead and put everything up on that screen. All right. That's good right there, Chuck. Thanks. All right. So let's talk about who pays more in taxes. Okay. Now, you got two different types of people. You got employees, right?
Right.
And employees, they pay taxes on the gross income before they are even paid. Okay. So an employee, when I say employee, we talk about somebody that gets a paycheck and they have taxes come out and then they get a W-2 to file come tax time. Now, when they get their check stub, taxes are already taken out on the front end. 6.2% is taken out to go towards Social Security.
Right.
1.45% is taken out towards Medicare. Then you have federal withholding coming out, and then you have state withholding coming out. Those four different taxes are coming out your paycheck on the front end. Now, and then you get paid. Now, let's look at a business owner. When it comes to a business owner, nothing comes out on the front end. As far as taxes, let's say that, as far as taxes. So if I go do a job and I get paid $1,000, I'm going to walk away with $1,000. Now, when I go to file my taxes, then I put in all of my expenses. And the good thing about being a business owner, again, you do not pay taxes on the front end. You pay taxes on the back end. So let's say I just made $1,000 for that year. I put in $1,000 for my gross pay.
Mm-hmm.
But if I got $1,000 in expenses, then I don't pay no taxes at all. If I got $800 in expenses, I only pay taxes on $200. So, but if I was an employee and made $1,000, then I have those 4 different taxes coming out on the front end before I even get paid. So as you can see, tax-wise, it's more advantageous to be a business owner, being self-employed. You know, we wonder and say, hey, how is this company like Amazon? How is our former president like Donald Trump able to make all of this money and pay no taxes? Again, when you are in business, a business owner, they do not pay taxes on the gross. They only pay taxes on the net. And if your net is at a negative number, then you don't pay no taxes at all. So when you look at the tax codes, it's really designed more for business owners.
Yeah.
And for those that are self-employed.
That's a good point, man. And I can say I can definitely see the difference in operating from the self-employed versus an employee-based approach. So I totally agree with you. And I mean, I've seen the evidence, for myself. So we got Mac back.
Mm-hmm. Hey, if you can, George, go to that next slide for me.
Yeah, I got you.
All right. Let me show you an example. Yeah, that's good right there.
All right.
Let's take a look at this. I got 2 W-2. I made up the names, Thomas and Samantha Harris, but I'm actually looking at 2 of my clients.
Okay.
And the husband, he makes $74,401. That's what he grossed in 2019. The wife, she made $63,116. So together, they grossed $137,517 in 2019. Now, again, on that previous slide, we talked about they pay 4 different taxes. So far as federal withholding, stay on the screen you was at. Well, you know what? Stay on that screen there. Click on the first one for me. Yeah, right there. That's good. They pay 6.2% towards Social Security. Now, he paid $5,200 for the year just in Social Security out of his money. She paid $4,481. When it came to Medicare, they paid 1.45%. He paid $1,232. She paid $1,048. Then we're looking at federal income tax withheld. He paid $4,569. She paid $5,787. Then we're looking at state withholding. He paid $3,027. She paid $2,258. So again, they made $137,000.
Right.
But before they seen any of their money,
they had that taken
they
out.
paid a total of $27,671 in taxes. And that's on the front end.
Have mercy.
And then when they get ready to file taxes, it was determined they still didn't pay enough. They had to
Wow.
pay back. They had to pay back. Now, let's talk about the business owner. If I made $137,000, and let me also add that as an employee cannot write off no job expenses. So if you drive to work, you can't write that off. If you go on business meetings and you got to pay for meals, hotels, training, you cannot write that off as an employee.
Wow.
If you had to buy uniforms, you cannot write that off. You cannot write off no job expenses.
You know what? I
as an
never knew
employee. Yeah. Well, it
I
used
never
to.
knew that.
This last administration just got out. This changed in 2018. That employees could no longer write off expenses. But even when they could write off expenses, you only could write it off if you could itemize.
Yeah.
So if you had job expenses, still a lot of people still could not write them off because they did not itemize deduction. They didn't have enough to itemize overall. Now, a business owner.
Okay.
Let me say this last part. If
Go
I make
ahead.
$137,000, if I make $137,000 as a business owner, again, I don't pay those 4 taxes. What I'm allowed to do as a business owner is to write off every expense that I incurred.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about travel, mileage, my vehicle. And if I bought a vehicle, hey, that's 100% business vehicle. So the key to being a business owner, and when you see companies like Amazon, Donald Trump, and even people that just pay 0 taxes as business owners, it's because they have been trained or have people on their team that are trained to turn normal deductions into business deductions. And when done properly,
right,
it's easy for a business owner to pay as less taxes as possible, but the majority of the time, they're paying 0 taxes.
It's all about the deductions.
Deductions.
So, Brother Tim, 2 things. 1, you are telling us right now that your team and your business startup and your portfolio plan, that you have the capability to help business owners be able to pay nothing in taxes or close to nothing as possible if they write things off correctly.
Well, again, when done properly, you are trained to turn normal deductions into business deductions.
Mm-hmm.
The average business owner should either be paying 0 taxes or paying as less taxes as possible. You know, I told the story. I told the story that, you know, everybody got, especially as men, you know, we say that women shop more, but men, when we shop, we just buy high ticket items, you know, at one time. You know, so we, you know, she might go out there and buy a bunch of shoes, a bunch of dresses, a bunch of whatever, but you know, we might go out there and just buy a car, a motorcycle, a boat. So I always wanted a boat. So I eventually said, hey, this is my year to buy a boat.
Yeah.
And I'm always thinking, hey, how can I write this off as a business deduction?
Right.
You know?
Okay.
So I said, you know what?
Tell them what kind of boat now. This ain't no regular little fishing boat. No.
Now this is a pontoon boat, a 27-footer pontoon boat. And what I did was I said, I've always, in addition to me buying the boat, I said, hey, what if I created a business? What if I created a business where I am, and it's on the Secretary of State's website. It's called Naughty Boy Watercrafts. Naughty Boy Water. So I have a watercraft rental business. And I actually rent the boat out, meet a captain, of course. I drive it. And I pretty much tour people around. A lot of people like to ride on the boats for parties and this and that. So they come on, they pay me by the hour. And now I'm able to write off the fuel. I'm able to write off the pier that I rent per month. I'm able to write off the repairs and maintenance, and even the purchase of the boat. And I also added some jet skis that
Wow.
I also let right on. So I actually created a business. So really the key is how was I going to turn a normal deduction into a business deduction? I took it personal. I didn't care about having my own personal boat no more.
Is that how it
I
looked to you?
like it. And mine looks
So
similar to that.
look
Similar to
at
that.
that. Okay. Similar
Yeah,
to
I
that,
like
and then now you also have a couple of jet skis that it's an
couple of
upsell or
jet
an
skis.
add-on.
Exactly.
Right. And then so
Yeah.
folks that are doing their
So again,
bachelorette or their bachelor's party, you can do all of this stuff, and you're financing your boat basically as a business opportunity.
Wow.
exactly.
I
And
love
I've been having this since 2009. So this is a deduction that I write off every single year on my taxes. Again, I turned a normal deduction into a business deduction. Now, when it comes to going on trips, I don't go on no personal trips. Every
it. Right.
trip I go on
It's all business.
is a business trip. I don't go on
Mm,
personal trips.
right.
None. Because the IRS code does not say that when you go on a trip that it has to be 100% for business. We see it all the time where companies, take their team on a trip
Yeah.
and they in a portion of the day they have a seminar.
Right.
They have it early in the morning just to get it over with, and the rest of the day is theirs. And they do that for a reason. Because again, they turn that normal deduction into a business deduction, and the IRS code does not say that it has to be 100% being used for business time. So I don't go on no personal trips. Everybody go on, whether it's a cruise, whether it's out of town, whether it's an air flight, everything is business related. I'm able to write it off. And again, these are things that I was going to do normally. Things I'm going
Yeah.
to do normally.
What about when you purchase like a brick and mortar building or land? How does that work?
As far as the business,
Yeah. If you purchase through the business, you purchase a building through the business. I know you, and I want to make sure it's clear when people say paying taxes. You still have property tax or a tax on land or something like that if you have it. You're talking about for as
yeah.
expenses, the annual stuff that comes out. But what are the benefits if you own a business and you purchase a building or purchase land or something like that? Are there any tax codes benefit for that?
Yes, you're able to, if you purchase a building and you got a mortgage on it, well, I'm going to say it two ways. If you purchase it outright, then you get to depreciate that property over a number of years, meaning that you take that purchase price plus the basis, which is all the improvements that you put into it, and you get to depreciate it on your taxes over a number of years. Now, if you're renting a location, then you get the right to rent off on your taxes as well as the utilities. If you're responsible for the taxes, you get the right to taxes off, the insurance off. Any expense that's business related, you're going to be able to write off any expense. And I just thought about one more thing. This is one of your first questions back. There was also a grant that Mississippi gave because the federal government did give each state a COVID relief money, and each state had the right to
Back
do
to
what they
business.
wanted to do with it. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
back to business.
Mississippi came up with the back to business program, and man, that application was so simple, so simple. And again, 100% of the people that applied and had their stuff in order legally, then they automatically got it. Even certain industries even got an additional $2,000. as a matter of fact, the state had so much money left that they were able to increase it.
Yep.
Because a lot of businesses that were applying, just did not legally qualify due to they didn't have credentials in order. So they had to give the money away. So a lot of in that case, they just increased what other business owners had already got.
Right. Yeah, it went from I think the base pay was like 1,500 and it went to 35.
Exactly.
And it just
and
because
then it said if you had got to $2,000 that they gave away to certain entries, that it had to subtract from there. And then they came back and said, no, just keep the 2,000 and we're still gonna give you the 3,500.
You could have walked away with $5,500.
Did actual expenses and got
25,000. Could have itemized. Yeah, to max it out.
Exactly.
So right now, anybody in the comment section I know several people that are doing startup business, getting started, based from the home. They're looking at online. Now is the time to put your question in the comment section. If you have something you want to ask this brother right here, he is definitely the person. TMC. Oh, somebody asked. They said, "What a motherfucking book." That's what they said. So you owe somebody a book. This is Nightcap Knowledge, so I'm gonna let everybody know if you are new to the show. If it come up, it definitely come out, and that's how we do. That's how we roll here at this show. So we definitely real talk, real solution. So we talk about the purpose of why we wanted to have you on the show. That we have to own our own. We do not own our own as Black people. And there are tricks of the trade that are being changed daily. And brothers like brother Tim, we had Sister Michelle that was talking about credit and things that folks like them have to stay on it all the time. Every time something new comes out, they have to be on it because they're constantly changing the rules because this stuff was not designed to benefit us. We are looked at as consumers and employees, not business owners and creators. And I say creators because you can just have a business to say, hey, you know what? I'm opening up a tie shop. Or you be innovative and say, I'm going to create something unique that nobody has seen before. And you want to make sure that you have total rights and privileges to it. And you're going to need this financial guidance, but you're going to also need to make sure that you don't get tripped up because just being honest. Look at what's the guy with the I want to say the boy got tardive dyskinesia, but he has that involuntary blinking. Joel Osteen, right? How much money his church received. All right, so you have you have those type of places and businesses that receive lots of money, and that's what's at the front end when they started talking about minority business loan. You had folks that already were millionaires that received money before a brother like Tim or myself or any other business owner that we might know, they received the money first. And then a lot of places went belly up. They fired the employees or they sent them home, they furloughed them, and they kept the money because they used different tricks of the trade and guidelines. How can a person embezzle $90-something million and it's considered a white collar crime and they are able to bond out and go home and be with their family? And little Pookie be around the corner. His grandma don't have no money.
Not sure what's happening. I don't know if y'all can hear me, but we're having a little bit of internet connectivity on my end, and hopefully we'll be able.
I see you fade. You're twirling what they call it, the little spiral of death, but you're gonna come back in a minute, Chuck. but he gets 20 to 25 years, as we see in numerous cases. Ownership is key. What is your value? How are we value? We are value as consumers. We need to be more ownership. You can be in predominantly Black cities like the city of Jackson, and still 85 to 90% of the commercial property you see are still owned by somewhere between 15 to 20 percentile. And majority of that percentile does look like us. And it starts with small business ownership, creating a safeguard for yourself, no matter who's sitting in certain seats, being able to create an economic structure where you can feed your family. And if you're taking a hobby and turn it into a business, how you can make money off of that. Because it's sad to say, a lot of us got to the point in this society, this country, we don't do smaller jobs that other folks used to do. And there's a lot of opportunity for that. So if you are willing to get out there and do it, create a business and figure out a way to evolve it, you can definitely create a legacy plan for your family. Because a brother, I don't know if Brother Griselle is on here, but he posted on Facebook, he called a professional chimney sweeper to come clean out his chimneys. You know, his chimney at his house. How many of us have chimneys, regardless if you burn regular wood or gas? That's a job, and nobody else want to do it. So you can charge a nice penny because nobody else want to do it, and that's a business. And people in this time of the year, whether it's because they cold or they just want to set that type of euphoria environment or mood, they burn it. They got the fireplace going. That's a business. That is a business, man. Brother
Hey,
Tim,
Matt,
yes, sir. Go ahead, jump in there.
let me add this right here.
Mhm.
And I talked about this on my show last month, that anyone that income earning person, every income earning person falls in one of three categories.
Mhm.
Okay. The first person, and Chuck, put on slide number 12. Which category are you in? Which category are you in? But every income earning individual falls in one of these three categories. All right. Keep going, Chuck. All right. All right, that's good. All right. So you first have the employee, and we talked about that. They pay 4 types of taxes on the front end. Then you got the second person, the employee. They have a job, but they are also self-employed or they are a business owner. Okay. Then you had a third person, which is 100% self-employed or a business owner. Now, again, based on what I said earlier, I don't recommend nobody be just an employee. I'm not knocking employees, but nobody should be 100% employee. The minimum an individual should be is number 2, an employee and self-employed or a business owner. And there's a difference, and we're going to talk about that next, being self-employed and a business owner. And then once you're ready to take that huge leap, being number 3. But even being an employee and a business owner at the same time, or self-employed at the same time, you still can save taxes, because save money on taxes, because even though you have those 4 taxes coming out of your paycheck, any loss that you have on your business is going to subtract from the income on your W-2 job. So it's decreasing the amount of taxes that you paid. For example, if you made $30,000 on your W-2 job, that $30,000 worth of income you got to report on your tax return. But let's just say your business has a $10,000 loss. You brought that $30,000 worth of W-2 income down $10,000. So now you're only paying taxes on $20,000 versus $30,000. And it makes a huge difference. So nobody should be number 1. And I repeat, nobody.
Right.
No, if you're gonna remain an employee, you at least got to be a minimum at number 2. Get you a business as well. Become self-employed as well. Go to that next slide for me, George. All right. This right here, a lot of people familiar with this, the cash flow quadrant. Let's talk about the left side first. You got the employee. This employee has a job. They got 4 different types of taxes coming out of their paycheck off the top. You don't own anything. They own you in a sense. Then what happens is you move to self-employed. Now, the difference with being self-employed versus a business owner is that being self-employed, you own your job. So if you are a barber if you are a plumber, if you are an electrician, if you are a cosmetologist, you are self-employed, because the only way you get paid is if you do work. You have to be there to get paid. So you are self-employed. So instead of having a job, you just own the job. So yes, you got a little bit more leverage than an employee, but you still are not 100% in control of your time, because the only way you get paid is to be there. Now let's move to the right side. And the right side is pretty much anyone that's on the left side should be their total goal. You have the business owner. Now, business owner, you own the system. You own a system, meaning that you have individuals working for you. And they could be employees. They could even be self-employed people, independent contractors. But you own a business. And the good thing about owning a business is that you do not have to be there in order to make money. You could be asleep and still make money. You could be on vacation and still make money. You could have multiple locations and still make money without you even having to be there. And then the last one is an investor, where you own investments. So we all know that the majority of people are on the left side. But the ultimate goal is to be on the right side. And go to the next slide, George. And this is the power of residual income. Because when you are a business owner, again, you, like Warren Buffett said, if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, then you will work until you die. You have residual bills. Why not have residual income?
Hey.
So you have got to, and again, it's a process. I started off as being employee, gradually moved to being self-employed with my first location. And actually, I was self-employed even before then. I just didn't know it, when I was younger. But became self-employed. And as I created the system and got multiple locations, started hiring people, started training other people to do what I did. Then I was able to create a system, and then I became a business owner and then an investor. That is the ultimate goal, is to build that residual income where you're making money in your sleep.
Hello.
Right. And when he say about making money in your sleep, and I heard Steve Harvey talk about this, about folded hands, and to be careful that people that fold a hand and their favorite hobby is sleeping. I've heard people talk about that, about sleeping. He said, if you're on the West Coast and you don't get up to 10 o'clock, when the stock market open on what time? On East Coast time. So somebody's already making decisions on your life while you still laying in the bed. And that's the same thing that applies when we talk about voting and a lot of things that you can say ain't nothing gonna happen and it's not gonna change. But if you don't get up and be a part of the process, then you're just allowing someone to make decisions about you and for you without you even putting up a fight. And why do I talk about this? How simple is this process? Aston Martin stock dropped significantly last week. And it was 97 cents a share when it closed Friday. Last Friday. I tried to buy a share that Sunday. But by the time Friday ended and Monday morning came, the stock had went from 97 cents on closing to $18, almost $19 on opening. But if I had been paying attention Friday and had bought 200 shares or 300 shares, think about it. This is $200 or $300 now. Chuck, let me borrow $200. Okay, I just bought 500 shares from Aston Martin on Friday Monday morning, I would have had 500 shares times $19, which went up to, eventually went up to $20. And not everything works that way, but just giving you an idea of when you're talking about making money in your sleep, when you have certain things like that. And sometimes it's just about being disciplined, as we talk about budget sheet and managing your money, cutting the cord, as a lot of us talk about, cutting the cord, meaning that we were wasting $140 a month on what we had, AT&T, whatever TV service came with AT&T, right? Direct TV. So what can you do with an extra? What else can you do with an extra $140, right? So those are things that we talk about. It's changing the way society mandates and tells us what we should be doing with our money, and to fit into what we call the social norms. What else can you be doing with it? And that's why I always talk about the immediate plan, short-term goal, long-term goal, and legacy plan. And that legacy plan is your family now has a business that makes money while you sleep. Hopefully your children will go into the business, but if not, if they would groom into the business, and depending on how your business is set up, you have money. If whether it be in a trust or in stock, you're making money even if you're not physically going out there doing the work yourself. You was about to say something, bro?
And that'd be a good show too, Mac. Investing.
Yeah.
A lot of people, want to invest but don't know how to, or don't have the know-how.
Right.
That'd be a great show as far as investing. I tell people one of the best business ideas that came out, and I don't know how it's doing now, due to streaming, but Redbox.
Yeah.
Redbox. You had a company with little to no overhead.
Yep.
Because to set up a Redbox, at foreign drugstores and grocery stores,
right,
and
high traffic areas,
and pay someone, just to go around, and change out the DVDs, the Blu-rays, the games, and how do you put a company that's been around? How do you put a company out of business that's been around? How do you compete with them? Blockbuster, Hollywood Video. The key is residual income. Residual income, and not looking at, and I tell people this when you charge prices, that is your goal to make money now or long term? Because if your goal is to get multiple clients, then you need to come up with a price that's going to attract multiple people and keep them long term. And that's what Redbox did. They said, hey, what price, and you might have heard this before, give me an offer I can't refuse. What could we sell a DVD for, or rent a DVD for, where everybody wouldn't turn it down? $1. Because we're going to attract more people. We're going to attract more people. And $1 made Blockbuster and Hollywood Video go out of business. Now, how they doing now due to streaming, I don't know. I think they also did streaming services themselves, but again, times are changing. So as time change, you also got to be prepared with your business, because your business might be booming today.
Yeah. You got to be prepared to
again, tomorrow something else could happen. I don't know if you remember back in 2008 when that housing market crumbled.
Yep.
And all those real estate agents, all those brokers, I mean, man, they had a great 2 years, and they went out and bought all these cars, bought all these houses, and did all this stuff. And then when the market just dropped, they didn't know what to do, because they did not have a backup plan. And that's why I said that every person, the average millionaire, has a minimum of 7 ways to earn money. So if the only way you earn money is just one way, then you got a minimum of 6 more to find. Because again, anything can happen.
And I always make this quote about Master P said, invest your money into something that make more money. And if you go back and watch the documentary, when he was trying to evolve into multiple things, a lot of the artists, they were doing great as artists making music. They did a couple commercials or whatever, but he was trying to create other businesses, clothing, all this. And they didn't, they had one person that was the glue, and she had death in the family, so she left. And everybody started jumping ship because they want to make money with music. They want to make money with music. That's all they kept saying, make money, make money, make money. But now you look at the worth and the value of Master P and his son. Master P worth 200 million, his son worth 20 million. And everybody talk about his son as a rapper and for being out front on the stage and how much money he made and how many songs he made. But then look at the folks that made all the songs that you knew from the videos, and now look at how much they had, because they didn't have multiple sources of income and they weren't trying to evolve into making more money. And there's one rapper that followed his footsteps, and that guy is right behind him, and that's Snoop. Snoop is around about worth about 150 million, because he followed the game plan that P laid out, which were, Snoop got multiple commercials with Martha Stewart, right? So, you got to talk about evolving and finding different ways to make money and not just offer that one thing, because if something happens, you can't do that one thing. How are you going to make more money? Because you still have the same bit.
At a point, Mac, about
Go ahead.
Snoop's, not only his business model, but also I guess it points to, the old adage, a closed mouth doesn't get fed.
Correct.
Snoop told Shaq, he was like, Shaq, how you getting all this endorsement money?
Yeah.
Like, man, I want some of that endorsement money too. So it's like, as a brand ambassador or a business owner or a person that has a particular platform where they can leverage their celebrity or their influence or whatever. If you see somebody that's doing what you want to do in a way, Snoop reached out to Shaq and said, look, mentor me on how to leverage what you're doing. Like you a celebrity, I'm a celebrity, or you have influence, I have influence, but you got Papa John's money, or you got General Insurance. Snoop said, I want some of that General Insurance money. And next thing you know, Snoop got Corona, Snoop got General Insurance. He got all of these people that he's now doing business with from an endorsement standpoint. And I think that's something to take note of in that particular moment right there.
I think they said that Shaq was part of like maybe 40 businesses, even if you're talking about being an investor or a small, and I tell people, having 10% of something successful is a lot better than having 100% of something failing.
Right.
So you have multiple strands of income by either putting your name in it or a small amount of money in it. Somebody else is doing the work and you're making the money off of it. The same way with Emmitt Smith and Michael Jordan. Emmitt Smith talked to Michael Jordan and bam. So sometimes you do have to find someone and seeking knowledge. And everybody listening and talking to Brother Tim and how successful he is, first thing he stated was he went and seek knowledge from Jackson State and learned what he needed to do. And now the student has become the teacher. And he's educating us right now, from students, small groups, to whoever click on this broadcast on the internet, which hear what he's talking about. Shaq is worth $400 million. So he's worth $400 million.
So you checked yesterday.
I'm gonna tell you,
and Shaq is adventuring into a number of different ventures. So
I'm talking about
their brother.
And see, and here's the thing about it. Talk about white folks and Jewish people. Quiet money. You want to talk about quiet money? Go look up Seinfeld and look up Adam Sandler. Seinfeld is worth like $900 million. Now, only thing you can think about is That sitcom he had on TV, Seinfeld, he's worth $900 million. So what else what he's doing? I don't know. But he has been doing something, because I know that one show didn't generate just that much money. And it might have. But so we have to be and there are a lot of local people we have talked to that have done really well. Brother Covington has had me and Chuck have talked to Brother Covington, and he's dropped knowledge on us, and we supported him. When he first started Impact Tickets, we were the first people that utilized it for our event. So we support each other. That's another thing too. Here's another thing we got to understand, especially when we start talking about the small network of Black business. Jackson is a small city, large town. If you have a Black-owned business, one of your jobs that you have is to find another Black-owned business that produces the supplies you need to run your business. I don't care if it's a wholesale store and he bought the paper from China and he's selling it to you. He had to go cut the tree down and make the paper himself, but find a way to feed each other and support each other. Do you all know there are only 7 billionaires of color in the U.S.? Hey, and I'm not saying I'm surprised, because two things, we got to talk real talk about this. Media is going to always point out things about people of color a lot more than they're going to point out about other folks. And I'm saying that there are a lot of other folks that have worth a lot of money, but they don't talk about it. When somebody of our color, Black person, make money, they're going to make a big deal about it. When they talk about how much money Mike Tyson will make with his marijuana farm, and then they talk about how much money he made with the boxing event. He brought home $10 million, but the fight generated $81 million. So still $71 million went somewhere. But we talk about more about that Black person making more money, because it's still a big deal to us. It's a major deal to us, but it has become a norm with other cultures to have folks that are worth that amount of money. And it goes back to ownership, and it goes back to changing your mindset and deciding, I want to sit down with a brother like Brother Tim. I want to start that legacy for myself and create my own business and do this. It's the simplest things, right? Less is more. When the pandemic hit, we couldn't find tissue.
Hey,
you couldn't find tissue, bro.
Look, do we know that the system that we operate in was built by us, and it was designed with every corner, impediment, and obstacle for us to not succeed. So, I mean, yeah, I understand, pointing out, that there are only a certain number of billionaires that look like us, or that have particular a level of melanin. But here's the thing, man. that ain't what we focusing on. We're focusing on creating a community of people who will build up other people. One. And in no particular order, I guess I should say, not even one, but in terms of a bullet. Like Tim and I don't have the type of relationship that Mac and Tim have, but because of the relationship that Mac and I have access to Tim. So it's like, if he sees me as a valued person, meaning that he says, all right, let me spend some time with Chuck, and invest that particular, it might be 30 minutes. And let's see what Chuck does with that 30 minutes. That 30 minutes might help me make $1 million. So all I'm saying is, let's stop focusing on like the lack that we have, because we know it's lack. I mean, we operating in these United States, and these United States were not designed for these Black people, or these people of color, or these indigenous people, or these people that came from another particular place of the continent. These United States were designed for the folks who left England and said they wanted to come over here and do whatever the hell they wanted to do. The thing that we're focusing on in this solution-oriented podcast is that Tim know what the fuck he talking about, and we need to listen to Tim. I don't know them some billionaires.
That's a nightcap. Huh?
Man, no, this me at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Oh yeah, Chuck. We just
Look,
talked about
when I look this way, and I was talking to my son, I was like, "Look," he said, "Daddy."
Oh
And
no. Yeah, and we appreciate that. We appreciate that. Yeah, we know it is possible for us, to succeed.
It is possible, but
and it's very motivational.
that ain't the solution. The solution is that each one reach one.
Yeah,
because I'm looking at Tim. I'm looking at Tim. I know Tim. I know his business. I don't know them 7 billionaires, but I know that I can get to Tim, and we can create more Tims within the system that we're operating in. The system that we're operating in, we can create more Tims. We can create more Macs. We can create more Chucks, and that's what this platform. That's not to detract from them. And brother Ron, I appreciate your comment, but it made me think about something, because most people, and I'm saying most people, I'm talking about most people that I come in contact with, they look at the opportunity saying like, all right, I got to get what Boosie got, or I got to get what Shaq got, or I got to get what Snoop has, or if I'm not doing LeBron James numbers, then I ain't doing nothing. And that's not the way that we need to look at things. I think we need to look at it from the standpoint of, all right, how do I be my best self every day? And how can I help somebody along the way? And I'll shut up.
Well, this has been the extended version of
Well,
Nightcap Knowledge.
and add on,
We are at 1 hour and 51 minutes. We're going to shut this thing down at 2 hours. Brother Tim, anybody got a question for Brother Tim? And if not, we're going to get Brother Tim to get ready to start to close out with his last comment. So if anybody got a question for Brother Tim, if you want to have a one-on-one conversation with him, if you have an email address, send us your email address, or Chuck, can you drop an email in there where they can send their contact information if they are interested in talking to Brother Tim one-on-one?
Most definitely.
Tim, go ahead.
Yeah, and Mac, I'll do even better than that. Like I said in the beginning of the show, before you call anybody about your business, finances, money, or taxes, call us. Our main office number is 601-922-2825. My cell number is 601-842-3226. And again, that's the same cell phone. Only got one cell phone number. That's the same cell phone number I use for business. That's the same cell phone number my mama called me on. So again, 601-842-3226. But just to add on what you just said, you know, what we got to do, especially if you're interested in going in business, you have got to seek professional help. Professional help. Again, when you look at those numbers, 50% of businesses are failing in the first year, 95% are failing in the first 5 years. I mean, you're really flipping coins.
Somebody ain't doing something right.
Yeah, so you got to get professional help. And thank you for the compliment, Mac, earlier. But hey, I got an 18. And when I say I got an 18, you know, I got a financial advisor that my investments are doing good, but they're doing good because I'm coachable and I listen to my advisor. You know, you don't hear about me too much legal stuff because, hey, I got an attorney on speed dial. So that's another person that you got to have on your A team. And this is a whole nother show, Mac, but the attorney I have, I only pay $39 a month to have an attorney on retainer at all times. $39 a month. And again, people can give me a call on that because that's another service that I offer, which is prepaid legal services. So, and I'm able to use that attorney for any situation that comes up for $39 a month. I also have on my team, well, I do taxes myself, but you also need a good tax advisor on your team. So again, you need an attorney, a financial advisor, you need a tax advisor, and you also need a business coach. And that business coach could be that how to do it. It could also be board members. It could also be someone you look up to that has been successful in the field that you're in. But someone that you can, even to this day, I don't do no marketing campaign without first getting other eyes to look at it. Because, hey, I love the hell out of some TCL. So I'm kind of biased. I need someone that's unbiased to look at this campaign and say, hey,
tell me if it's trash.
Yeah,
tell me if it's trash.
When you first look at it, do it catch your eye?
Yeah.
You know, so you can't be afraid of that. You can't be afraid of that. And I've seen too many people fail in business because they think they know it all. And not just fail in business, fail also in their personal life.
In life.
Because they think they know it all. And we ain't the most coachable people. Let's just keep it real. So again, all that can change. So again, if you are looking for someone to assist you with business startup and development, give us a call. Again, my personal cell number, 601-842-3226.
All right. We're winding up. We have about, we have 3 minutes and some change left, 4 minutes. So this has been the Nightcap Knowledge Show, Black and Uncensored, real talk, real solution. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now I'm in my office. I drunk 2 glasses. I'm gonna get home, brother.
Hey, go ahead and call the Uber service.
Hey, you at your office.
Call Blooper.
You at home, man.
Yeah. Guess what?
Hey, George, you at home?
No, yeah. I'm in my office.
Home too.
No, I'm in my office.
He's in his home office. Hey, guess what? You'll be early for work in the morning.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now look, we got plenty of people that we can call, and I'm talking about professional services. For instance, Phoenix Limousine Services. We can call them to get over there to TCL Tax Services to make sure that you get home safely.
Yeah.
Y'all saw how I did that. That's a plug. Somebody paid Quincy.
He want to pick the limousine. He want to give me the limousine. Hey, I'll just take an Uber tonight. I'll just take an Uber.
Nah, man, we gotta take care of you, right, man. We'll call
he counting my money, man. He gonna give me a limousine. I don't need no limousine.
He got the town car service. Come on, man. We get the town car for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Look, we appreciate everybody for checking in. Appreciate everybody in the comments. We've definitely had a very engaging discussion. Now we'll also have Matt giving them some information about what we got coming up. We're gonna drop the registration link, correct, on New Year's Eve, and then they'll be able to register at a discounted rate for the upcoming seminar that we'll be doing with our last week's guest, Miss Michelle James Way. So go ahead and give us some information about that and everything that we got rolling with it.
So Michelle will make her cameo appearance on next Tuesday's show. We were talking about financial health and economic empowerment.
Right.
That's more of dealing directly with you, budget, credit, those things about credit bureaus and things of that nature that we went and dealt with last week. So that workshop will be next Friday on New Year's Eve. She will be on the show as one of our returning guests as we wind out the year. And we're going to talk about it then. And who knows, you might be able to get a few people in next Tuesday. But definitely we're going to drop the link, and it's going to be a virtual workshop.
That's right.
And you'll only receive whoever gets the link. That's the only person that be able to participate. But it's going to be very in-depth. We'll be able to go back and forth and have a good discussion and dialogue. So come prepared with your questions and answers. We're going to be looking at doing some things in the future with next year. We're going to have Brother Tim going to tap his shoulder. We're going to be able to do a lot more virtual things and reach a lot more people. So we'll be able to assist you. Somebody just put a comment, Chuck. You see that?
Let's say. That's my aunt. What's up, Aunt Jean? Love your closing remarks. Each one, reach one. It's not just about becoming a billionaire, but coming up and sharing knowledge. I appreciate my auntie for tuning in tonight, and it is definitely about that. It's about us building that community, building that that opportunity to be approachable. That opportunity to be approachable, because sometimes we put that wall up, we put that facade.
Yeah.
And one of the things I try to do, look, I'm gonna be me in every room that I walk in. I might cuss sometimes, or I might say something that's gonna rub you the wrong way. And if you let me know that I rubbed you the wrong way, I'm like, look, man, I'm sorry, but was there any truth in what I said?
Right.
Yeah.
And that's a great story. Yes, sir.
Let me add this. Hey, Chuck, put up slide number 3. I just want to show the
Number
list of
3.
services that we offer.
All right.
Yeah.
Let me
3.
see.
And while you put that up, let me also add that go to the right there. Go back one. Yeah, that's good. We also have a business partnership opportunity. Even though we got 4 locations, actually 2 of them are independently ran by 2 people that was on my team long term.
Okay.
So the one in Byram and the one on Medgar Evers Boulevard. So being an entrepreneur is a beautiful thing. So I created a business partnership opportunity about 3-4 years ago. We've already got 2 locations that have taken advantage of it. So again, if anybody's out there that's interested in getting into the financial services industry, again, we do have that partnership opportunity. But on the screen right now, that's a list of all the services that we offer.
That's all right there, man. Look, I'm looking at some of these things, and I know that some of the events that we've done with you previously, like I remember the event at Johnny T's. You discussed a lot of this there. Even me being around my folks, life insurance is definitely something that every person and family needs to have. Legal protection, like you talked about that, that $39.99 a month. If you're a business owner, I know if you ain't doing $40 a month in sales, like, man, I wake up, I got $40 in sales with between 6 and 7 o'clock on 2 t-shirts. So I ain't even counting shipping. But at the end of the day, if you're not saving for retirement, if you're not preparing for your taxes all year, meaning that you got your receipts, you've got that that paper trail, that digital footprint, whatever you're thinking, even the estate planning, if you're not thinking about your children, and even if you don't have those kids, if you're not thinking about your nieces and nephews and what you can do with the life that you've lived to do something better for those that come behind you, you hustling backwards.
Right. Yeah. Right. So we'll remind everybody again, next week, we're going to have our guests back on the show. We're going to drop the link. Make sure you get ready to register for the workshop, the virtual workshop we're going to do. And we're going to talk about a lot of great things you need to know about the budgeting, and definitely when it comes to affecting your credit. Man, credit is the new norm. When they're talking about being able to verify your approval for not only for purchasing power, but also for occupation. And we went in depth last week, and we're going to give Michelle some time to talk about it next week as we get ready to do the workshop on the New Year's Eve. So we're going to celebrate New Year's Eve talking about health and wealth, and about money, and about how we can create it and be able to share it and utilize it for our people. And we use the term the village mentality, and some people don't understand it. Go break down and learn how a village works. And a true, especially African village, everyone has a role. There are multiple huts. In certain huts, they do this, in certain hut, they do that. But everybody come and work together so the village can benefit from it. So as long as you do your job and what you're supposed to do, you don't have to worry about what the folks in the other hut is doing. And you work together so that everyone can benefit and grow.
Somebody make the biscuits.
And so that's it. Now, look, you make the biscuits, and we'll go grind some sugar to make some molasses. That way we can eat together, brother. We thank Brother Tim for coming on the show. We thank all the folks for the comments. Chuck dropped our email, our information. You can go back and check us out anytime you get ready on YouTube. This has been Nightcap Knowledge. Facebook hated so hard on us, so we do not have any intro or outro music like we normally do. So we're going to play a little something and fade to black, and we'll see you next week.
That's right. This has been Nightcap Knowledge. I am DJ George Chuck. That has been Mr. Mac, and we are very appreciative for Mr. Tim C. Lee of TCL Tax Services. See y'all next week. Peace. All right. I ain't feeling this music, bro.
That music cat.
Hey, man. Hey, look. I just got the notification from Facebook. I know we closing out, but just to give everybody an insight, I just got a notification from Facebook tonight, about an hour ago. So as we were going into our second hour of the broadcast,
Right.
Audio Library, AWAL Audio Library, which is one of the publishing companies that represent particular artists. They accepted your dispute and released their claim on your video. So, like, man,
It took y'all a full week,
a whole damn week.
literally.
But I guess they not like Tim C. Lee, and they don't have their attorney on speed dial. Holla at Tim C. Lee, TCL Tax Services.
I was
Get
just
your attorney
about
on
to say
speed
that.
dial.
For $39 a month, you ain't got to deal with this stuff, man.
Are we still live, Chuck?
Yes, we are still live, and that's all we got. Peace.